Welcome to Selz-Pralle Dairy. Have you ever milked a cow? Probably not. And since you can't be with me today, how about I walk you through the process of how we milk cows here on my farm? We're in the milking parlor, and soon the mothers of your adopted calves will be coming in to get milk. So get ready. Let's go milk a cow. This is our milking parlor. We milk 3 times a day. We start at 4 a.m., at 11 a.m., and 7 p.m., and our milking shifts go 6 hours. We bring in a pen of cows, and they come in to get milked. Here come the girls. They're walking up from their pen, coming into the milking parlor. The door is opening, and the cows are entering the parlor to come to get milked. And she sees me here and says, "What is she doing?" They all come in one by one, just like when you're heading to gym or recess, single file. And they walk in and stand. We load 10 cows, then we start the milking process. We call this a foamer, and what it has is a disinfectant on it, and we put that on to wash their teeth with a little bit of soap. Now we're foaming the teats. It's got a little bit of a soap. And we put some disinfectant on, and then we squeeze the milk out. This sends a signal to the brain and tells the cow that she's supposed to start releasing her milk. And that takes about 90 seconds, which allows the antiseptic to sit on the teeth, which needs to be there for 30 seconds to kill any bacteria that is on your teeth. This tool is called a teat scrubber, and we use it to wash the teats and to put some disinfectant on them, because of course we want the teats to be clean and dry, because, well, that's what we're going to harvest milk from. The first time we put it through, there's a disinfectant in some water, and we go through and we wash the teat, and then when that gets done, we'll push that button again, and then it will go and it will dry the teat. Okay, now let's see it in action. Now we have the scrubber. This has got some more antiseptic on it, and it has brushes that are swiping any of the dirt off, and then he goes back and he dries, because we know that bacteria needs water to grow. So each one of those teats is perfectly dry. Let me see if I can get it. That is the bottom of the teat, and it is perfectly dry and free of bacteria before we put on the milking unit. This is the unit that goes on the cow's teeth, and we'll put this on. It has a rubber inflation, and it will go on. Now, when the teat goes in there, this feels exactly like a baby sucking on its mom for milk. It has the same exact feel. So that's what the cow feels. It feels like there's a calf sucking milk. And now she's milking. So it takes about 4 to 4.5 minutes, depending on how much the cow is milking. And you can see the milk is coming out. It's going into that little receiver. It goes down this hose, and that hose leads it to the milk house, where it will be chilled down to below 40 degrees so bacteria won't grow, and then it'll stay in the milk tanker until it heads off to the processor. Always refrigerated, always cold. Now, this milk never touches a human hand. Not one. It leaves the teat of this cow, never touches a human hand until it touches your lips when you drink a glass of milk. This is Blexy's mom. She's always one of the last ones that comes into the milking parlor. Never in a hurry. And you know what? She always comes on the same side, and she's always about the 6th or 7th cow in the group. Just like when you go to lunch and sit at the same table every day, Lexi's mom likes to go to the same spot to get milk every day, 3 times a day. There's her milk. We'll come back to see how much she made altogether. I don't know if you can notice, but when a cow comes into the milking parlor, her udder is pretty firm and full. But as she gets done, it starts to collapse a little bit because there isn't as much milk in it. Now we have a meter that controls or tells us when their milk flow gets down to 6 ounces per minute, then the unit automatically detaches. And as I said, that takes about 4 to 4.5 minutes for a cow to be completely milked out. The unit detaches because of vacuum. There is vacuum that's holding it onto the teat, sucking like a baby calf. When that milk flow gets down to 6 ounces per minute for a flow rate, the vacuum detaches or cuts off and the unit is pulled away from the teats. Now, how much did she milk? It tells us that 54.48 is 6.7 pounds above her 7-day average, and she milked 40.7 pounds, or 41 pounds if we round up. We milk 3 times a day, so how many pounds is that a day? Well, that's about 123 pounds of milk a day. Isn't that amazing? After the cows get done milking, we go behind them and we put a sanitation on their teats. It also has lotion on it so that when they go back, it keeps their teats nice and soft. And then it keeps them free of, well, actually it gives them a barrier so that bacteria can't get to the teat. Udder. See the milk coming out. She's getting close to done. She's starting to move a little bit more. Jazzy's mother, she's milking out, and you'll notice from the time we started, her udder doesn't look quite as full. That's because so far, she's got 36 pounds of milk that's come out of her udder, and she's still milking yet. I can see it slowing down. Pretty soon the unit, when it gets down to 6 ounces per minute, the sensors will stop the vacuum on the udder, and it will detach. are getting milk. Look how they're all chewing their cud. They're all very relaxed. We never shout at our cows. We never hit our cows because then they wouldn't be calm and relaxed. This group of cows is getting milked. They have milking machines on their udders. See how calm they are? Quite a few of them are just chewing their cud. I'll get a little closer and you can see them. There they are getting milk, chewing their cud. They do this 3 times a day. And then when we let them loose, we'll watch them go. These cows are done being milked. We raise the head gate. They're all anxious to go back to their pens where they can go grab something to eat and get something to drink. And they will walk single file. Not everybody does like they're supposed to. And then we will lower the head gate for the next group of cows. She's looking at me saying, I don't want to come in here, there's a stranger. You ever hang around and then calls on your way to class? That's what she's doing. You notice that the cows are standing on a platform? That is so that the head of the milker can be eye level, so they can see everything on the cow's udder. They can make sure they see any dirt and make sure everything is clean. Now you'll say, well, what about if they get kicked? Well, that's why it is down this low. A cow's leg can't go past that. And I'll show you a little bit later, there is a poop tray so that they happen to poop while they're standing there. That catches any poop and piddle that may come out while they're standing. Though, if you're very calm and quiet, few cows will ever poop. Usually that's what they do when they get nervous. That's their nervous reaction. Okay, Angela's going to push the button because all the cows are milked and all their teeth have been disinfected. The gate lifts up and then they walk forward. Of course, except for the first cow who wants to stay there and listen to my story. This is the tray that if a cow has to poop or tinkle, and then Angela washes it out after each pen and rinses some water. And that goes down to the septic. And then she also cleans off in between the cows. Very careful not to have any of the water spray up on their udders to wash off the disinfectant. Now you notice that when they're milking cows, they have gloves on. And you may think that's just so their hands don't get dirty, but the truth is, the gloves we wear are to protect the cow. Because we can easily wash the gloves off, but we use our hands, there's cracks in our hands and bacteria can sit in the cracks in our hands. And after we do all that work of trying to sanitize the cow's teeth, we don't want to go and touch their udder with bacteria in the cracks of our hands. So we have gloves on, we can easily wash off, so we can make sure that udder is never contaminated once we've disinfected the teeth. This is our milk house. And when the milk leaves the cow, within 60 seconds, it goes through this plate cooler, which uses groundwater to bring the milk from 101 degrees down to about 60 degrees. And then it travels to this really big machine here we call a chiller. And that uses propylene glycol, and that chills the milk down to 40 degrees. And in the summer, we'll take it down to 30 degrees. Why? Because we know that milk needs to get below 40 degrees, just like your refrigerator in your house, so that bacteria doesn't grow. have a dishwasher in your house, we have a dishwasher to wash all of the milking utensils. When everybody gets done being milked, we wash everything by hand, and then we hook everything up to an automatic dishwasher to make sure that the temperature is hot enough to clean the bacteria and to take away any type of milkstone that may still be in the line. Sanitation is a very important part of dairy, especially when you're producing food and especially milk. When we get done milking, which means that we will have milked 18 hours today, this tanker will be almost full. It holds 54,000 pounds of milk. That's a lot of milkshakes. How long do you think? How long do you think it takes to get from my farm to the refrigerator in the grocery store? It has to be travel to the processing plant where they test it, and then where they process it into milk, or they may make it into cheese. Then it has to get bottled, taken to your store where you can buy it. 48 hours. Within 48 hours of milk leaving my farm, it is processed, bottled, and in the store for you, fresh. Now, if they're making cheese, like our milk is made into cheese, it's going to be processed today. They will start making cheese today as soon as it hits the processing plant. So, next time you grab a bottle of milk, or you're pouring it on your cereal, remember what Farmer Pam says. That milk is fresh and pure from farm to table in 48 hours. Drink up and have a great day.